First, I want to congratulate Xavier and Coach Googans. That's a phenomenal team. As you saw, what a game, what a great game. It's a shame somebody has to lose that game, but that's the way it is. And I think that's like 3 regionals in 4 years for that group and back-to-back regional finals. And, I think he's one of the top coaches in the country. He's one of the nicest guys in the country. And, man, his kids play the game the right way. It's fun competing against them, and that's why we try to play them every year because of how much respect we have for their program. I'm obviously super proud of this group. Sitting next to me, I don't want to get ahead of myself and because we still got a lot of baseball left to play, but, as Logan Taylor's a senior sitting here, he's 12-0 in the last 12 regional games. And I just want to make sure we recognize and obviously Lincoln and Josh, are creating their own little winning streak. So super proud of this group. It's not easy, but these guys have made it look easier than normal. So I want to celebrate some of their accomplishments. But like I said, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. So we'll enjoy the next few minutes until the clock strikes 12, and then we'll turn our attention to the Supers.
You open it up to the players?
Lincoln, can you just talk about when Coach brings you in that situation and, a couple innings left and you kind of know, I think you probably assumed that it was yours the rest of the way. Just talk about the feeling and what you felt out there tonight.
When I'm walking out there to the mound, there's nobody on base in my mind. I'm doing my thing. It's me and Colby. And when Coach Mack looks at me and he says, it's my game now, that just lets me know, even though I know in the first place that, it's up to me. My team, they got the trust in me. I love that they have the trust in me to go out there and do what I do. But the situation itself doesn't bother me. I constantly talk to the Lord, and I constantly ask Him to get me through each pitch, and tonight He helped me out.
Roger said last week he needed to give you a little bit of a rest. Did you feel back to yourself tonight?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I didn't throw in the first 2 games because, we scored a lot of runs and things like that, which is always great. But there's no selfishness in that, I'm a competitor. I want to pitch. But it's not, gosh dang it, I didn't get to throw tonight. I didn't get a save. That's not how it is. Every victory that we get when I don't pitch, it's just as good as if I do.
Josh, could you have imagined have a much better week than you did weekend?
No, as a hitter, that's just the weekend that you dream of. And just going into the weekend, I felt really good in BP, and I just tried to take the same BP swings that I was having and put it into the game, and it was able to translate this entire weekend.
Did you think it was out?
No. I thought it was a double, maybe a triple. But, as you can see, I was sprinting the entire way, and I had to ask the umpire if it was a home run.
Josh, Chris Burke called you on the telecast the next great Louisville star. Knowing the talent that has come through here, what's that mean to you?
It's an honor coming from somebody like Chris Burke, especially just with the caliber player he was in college and in the pro ball. And it's a great compliment, but I'm not going to let that make me get big head or anything. I'm going to keep my head down and keep playing the way I have been.
Josh, when you came to the plate for that home run, the crowd really seemed to be getting into it as you stepped to the plate. How much as a batter do you feed off of that kind of stuff?
The crowd plays a big part in everything, especially in close situations. When you have 6,000 fans cheering and knowing that you're going to get a hit, it just boosts up your confidence tenfold. And just having the crowd behind me just allowed me to be very confident and put a good swing on the ball.
Logan, you guys went down 3 times and came back and take the lead. Let's talk about the mentality of this team and the fight that you guys showed.
I'm going to start by saying that kind of the approach that we've had the last week is just play the game. Don't play the score. Just have a warrior mentality and do whatever you can with opportunity that we have. So not trying to do too much, not trying to get caught up in the score. Yeah, it was back and forth a lot, and that was one of the funnest games I've played all year. But just try to do what you can and hope it works out. We got a good team, so I take our chances more times than not.
You guys have a preference of who you play
I have no idea. It
Between
doesn't matter to
Carolina
me.
State and Kentucky, is there one over you'd like to play?
There's really no preference to us. I mean, the opponent doesn't matter. We just have to go out there and play our game. Obviously, all the fans want to see us play Kentucky, but regardless of the outcome, I know we're going to come out with a lot of energy, and I think we're going to go back to Omaha.
Josh, following up on what Logan was saying about this team's fight, I mean, what do you think it says about this particular team when you're down 3 times to a team and you have to kind of scratch out whatever kind of hit you can, just to try to get back ahead?
It just shows the brotherhood that we have. Nobody gets down. Everybody just lifts each other up. And obviously, as it showed this weekend, when our studs, Drew Ellis and McKay, aren't at their best, that the team can pick them up. It's just not a 1-2 person show. And I just love that everybody was in for each other, and there was just no negative energy this entire weekend. It was great.
Josh, what was it like coming in this year, knowing that you were kind of a strong candidate or the likely person to replace Corey, and all the production that he had as one of the greatest players ever at the history of the school?
Going into this year, there was never any thought of, wow, I have to replace Corey and produce what he did. Corey was an awesome player, but I just feel we had 2 different games, and I just wanted to play my own game, and if the comparisons come, then they come, but I'm not trying to be like Corey.
Did you know him growing up? Or anything?
Yeah, I knew Corey very well. We still text and we hang out, we work out together, and we hit together all the time.
Logan, a week ago, a lot of people were asking, what's wrong with you guys? You guys have lost a number of games to close the season against Florida State, also in the ACC. You guys talked about not getting too low, and you've proven that you guys were able to do that. How do you not get too high now?
I mean, it's postseason now, so every team that we play is going to be really good, and now the Supers, you're going to have to play a team that's coming off winning a regional. So I think it's more keep your eyes fixed on what the goal is, and that's just to win the next game and deal with next opportunity you have and give it your best every game.
Logan, what's it mean to you that hundreds of fans out there waiting for tickets for a Super Regional at like 11:15 p.m.? What's that mean to you?
The Louisville Cardinal fans are amazing, and I love the atmosphere tonight and big games, even in the regular season. Just makes it so much fun to play here. Fires us up, and I mean, I can say that I feed off of that energy. When we get the Cards chant going, and like after Josh hit the home run and Jim Patterson exploded, I mean, that gets you fired up.
Lincoln, what was that last inning like? I mean, I know obviously you try to block the crowd out, but it was so loud. Could you block it out, or just talk about what it was like?
Yeah, I take one of those moments back to my freshman year against Cal State Fullerton. I struck one guy out, and the next batter, he came up with 2 outs, first and second, and the crowd was so loud. And these past 2 years, I've just been telling myself if I ever get in that moment again, that I'm not going to let the crowd get into me. So tonight it was just me and Colby. I can't get my emotions too high. I can't let it affect my approach. I just got to go with the next batter, how I do every single batter. So.
Well, you can talk about that defensive play you made, the ball up the middle. I mean, that's one that he probably would have scored again if you don't make that snag.
We take great pride in our PFPs. We do it every Thursday, the day before a weekend series, and we get pretty excited about it. But it's what we work on every week, and just ground ball right back to me. It's just me and McKay. So.
One more question.
Do either of the Lexington guys hope you guys face Kentucky?
It doesn't matter to me, to be honest.
I would just say it doesn't matter who's coming in here. We're not losing 3 years in a row.
I think we'll end on that one with these guys. Damn straight.
Open it back up for Coach.
What's the decision to go with Lincoln, so early in the game?
Well, we hadn't used them. We were trying to get to them, obviously, and it just, tip your hat to their offense. We couldn't get to them. I mean, everybody we ran out there, they seemed to be on. They seemed to not chase. They walked. They found base hits. And so, at that point, we just got to get him out there and try to end their momentum and knowing that we still had 3 innings. And so I told him when I went out to the mound, just, guys, we got 3 innings of offense left, so, let's just minimize and try to get out of this. And but Lincoln, he obviously set the tone. I mean, we needed that to kind of shut the door the last 3 innings.
What's going so right now for Josh?
He bought in. He made the adjustments. He talked about Corey. Corey was like his big brother last year, and I used to kind of go to Corey to get to Josh, and I used to put the heat on Corey. Man, you got to get to him. You got to get to him. You got to help him. Like when Corey was a freshman and Cole Sturgeon and those older guys helped him, and so. But Josh went off and had a good summer in the Northwoods League, and he had to earn it. He had to fight. It was a battle. He and Ryan Summers, and Ryan's a great player, and gosh, he plays so hard, and it's hard to not have Ryan out on the field. But Josh has just got locked in early in the season, and you see the production he's able to bring us.
Another big night by Snyder. Just talk about how he continued to produce.
Well, we knew we needed somebody young to help us. Levy had a nice stretch there. Fitz had a nice stretch. Fitz probably had the best early part of the season. Levy, hit a point towards the middle, second half, and then he hurt his shoulder. And, Jacob was kind of, struggling for the most part, like a lot of freshmen do. And he finally put it together there at the end. And you think back of postseason runs that we've had, you need some young guys to step up. And I talked about in 2014 when we went to Omaha, Solak was a freshman, and Ray was a freshman, and Lyman and Taylor and all those guys, Will Smith were they were contributing as freshmen. So sometimes those younger guys don't put as much pressure. They're just playing the game. They're just having fun. And but like I said it, the first night. He's a super talented player, and it's fun to see those guys compete.
Every time you guys got some momentum going, it seemed like they would come back and snuff it out. What was the mood like in the dugout during those moments?
No, like Logan Taylor said, it was a fun game. Gosh, it was. I can imagine for a fan, watching it, the emotion, and just it was like a boxing match, back and forth and back and forth, and it's like I said, that's why I tip my hat to those guys. That's they were tough, and they turned the line over a lot, and every time they turn the line over, you're like, oh gosh, we got to go through these guys again. But their bottom half did some damage, and that's usually the key when the bottom half of the lineup can contribute, and their bottom half did. Similar to Oklahoma a little bit last night, and so we're just glad we came out on top by a run.
And in that regard, your 2 through 5 went 1 for 13 and you win. Just talk about the other, the depth of your lineup.
Yeah, I say it all year. We didn't. 50 wins. I'm looking down at the sheet and I'm just shaking my head because it's just not easy to win 50 or 60 games, and we won a lot of them because of the middle of the lineup. But it's baseball. You can't just live and die off the middle of the lineup. You have to get production up and down, and the success we've had over the years, we've always gotten really good production from the bottom 3 or 4 of our lineup.
Were you arguing? Did you think that the guy had scored before they got to first and second base?
Yes, well, I just wanted to make sure. It happened to me on the other side where our center fielder made a phenomenal catch one year, and the guy tagged from third, but we doubled up the guy at first. It's called a timing play, I believe, and if the run crosses the plate before you double the guy up, it counts, which a lot of people don't even realize it because it's kind of a force. You would assume the run doesn't count. So I just asked the home plate ump, just make sure, and he did what we asked him to do. He met with the other 3 umpires, and according to them, they said that the force was out at second before Colby touched home plate. So that's good enough for me. That wasn't the answer I wanted, but they're making the right call based on what they thought they saw.
Anything else?
Let me just say, I just want to thank Coach O and Davis, man, great job, and the NCAA helping us run a great event. And I know, the Louisville folks, 12 o'clock and 7 o'clock games aren't the easiest. And I appreciate all the media and obviously all our support staff that stayed here, man. These were long days, and I'm very appreciative of that. Last thing is, good friend of ours, Dr. Elko, is a little under the weather. And I don't know if he's watching this, but he means a lot to us. And our players don't even know it yet that he's sick because he was just here this week, but we're going to reach out to him. And we have a saying that says, call me, just to let him know we're there for him. Thanks, everyone.